Red Pig asked me a question about how do you remember your systems that you create, your different memory systems. They could probably be alphabet system, number system, symbol system, and all these different systems. And so in this video, I'm going to try to keep it quick and try to go over how you actually remember these different systems. Because it does make sense, you have 5 different systems, 10 different systems. How do you remember all those systems? So the first way, and it's probably the hardest way, and that is repetition, okay? So say for example, you have a number system, 2-digit number system, 39, and you said that was a lamp, okay? So what happens is you really don't have an association between 39 and a lamp. And so what you have to do is repeat it over and over and over until you make that connection. So you're like, okay, 39, lamp, lamp, 39, 39, lamp, lamp, 39. So you keep repeating it over and over and over, and eventually, and it is eventually you're going to make that connection. So when you think of 39 or see 39 or hear 39, instantly you're going to think of a lamp, okay? So that's the first way, repetition. The second way is a lot better, and that is if you have some sort of initial association between the whatever information you're trying to make a system for. So for example, the alphabet system, okay? A, ape. So when I was going through, I was like, okay, what letter or what word rhymes with the letter A? A, ape. Boom. So now I have association. Why? Ape sounds like A, so it's really easy to kind of make that connection. But of course, I still practice it. But what happens is I have that initial connection between the information and my image. So I'm like, okay, A, ape. Then backwards, right? Ape, A. So that's really easy because the rhyme is really easy since the letter is in the image, right? Ape, A's right there. And so that's another way that you can remember your system, okay? It goes a little bit faster because you have that initial association. Now, the next one will tell you, I never done it because it kind of doesn't make sense to me. Well, I understand the idea behind it, but still it's like, what? And so what happens is, say this number system, okay, 11. For me, that's Darth Vader. Well, let's just say you randomly put that as Darth Vader, okay? 11, Darth Vader. So what people do is they create a journey. So say if you have a 2-digit number system, you're going to need 100 different locations. In the first location, you're going to place your image for 0, 1. And maybe that's like sun or something, okay? Then the second location, you're going to place your image for 0, 2. And maybe that's Batman. And so you go on through all the locations, placing your images for your number system. Now 100 is going to be 0, 0, okay? Because you can't really have a 0 location. And so what you do is you could go through your memory palace that you have all these locations in, and then every time you go to the 17th location, you're like, oh yeah, 17th location, that's going to be a marker. And so that way you have all your images in a location, and all the locations correspond to one of these numbers. And so that's kind of a way to make the connection go a lot faster. And so you could put a whole bunch of random images to all these different numbers right here, like 84, right? But eventually, like, okay, 84, oh yeah, 84, that was a window shade, okay? Boom, see it. And then you go to the next one, and so you just kind of practice. So right now, 71, I'm like, okay, 71 location, boom, see a laptop. And so let's go change. 25, oh yeah, that's, on my computer desk. Oh yeah, I see a monkey. And so it kind of works like that. So you kind of build that association. You have locations, so you can actually go through and see them in the locations in your mind. And so that's pretty much the 3 different ways to have a system to that's the 3 different ways to remember your different memory systems. Repetition, there's like a rhyme or association, or using memory palace, okay? Placing them into the corresponding places. But of course, alphabet system, it's a little bit harder to use a memory palace because you have letters instead of numbers, but of course you can always change the letter into a number, right? A, that's the first letter in the alphabet, so it goes to the first location, right? B is the second letter, go to the second location. You can do that if you want to, but you just have to make sure you remember what number of location, what the location number represents in letter terms, okay? But I guess the last way you could do it, it's kind of a variation, and that is pretty much having a system like I do. So 44. So 4 has to be an R. 4 again, the second digit is a oh, oh, oh. So I got rock, okay? Rock. And so what happens here is I don't I don't really need to have an association or a location or anything because when I saw 44, right, I broke it down. Oh, the first four has to be R. The second four, oh yeah, that's a O, right? Oh yeah, rock. Boom, got it. But it's kind of so, the problem is you still have to make the initial connection between the two different number columns, right? The tens and the ones. And so of course, you're only going to have 20 different letters attached to these different numbers. So like 0, if it's a 0 right here, right? 0 right here in the first place, that's going to be an S or a Z. So stand, 0, 1 is stand. 1 is going to be a sound, okay? If it's in the second digit place. And so I still have to make that connection, right? Because no 1, or I guess 0, I'm lucky because it has a Z or S sound, right? So I kind of made my system based on things that kind of relate to the actual number itself. But of course, when it comes to the vowel sounds, like 1 is a or 2 is eh, there's really no connection there, right? Why is 2 the E sound, right? The soft E sound? I don't know. It just is because A-E-I-O-U. I kind of went into that pattern to make it a little bit easier on myself. And so I still had to use for the second digit part, this one, kind of make the connection, kind of use repetition, kind of force that connection between those two things. But for the most part, the first digit, 6, that's going to be a G or J. Now, because I kind of invert it, so it kind of reminds me of that, or kind of looks like a G, right, capital G. And so it's kind of up to you on how you want to actually approach memorizing your different systems. So hopefully this video gave you different ideas on how to do that. And just to quickly recap, so you have repetition, right? Probably the hardest. Association based, that's going to probably be the easiest because you already have that connection to those two things. Next is go use a memory palace, okay? And of course it kind of varies on what system you're actually using. I guess the fourth one would be kind of having a code-based system. So right here, I know that's a B and that's a oo sound, okay? So that's gonna be boogie, okay? Boogie, Nightmare Before Christmas. And so there we go. 12. That's gonna be a D. That's gonna be a Debbie. And so having that system allows me to kind of learn my number system a lot faster. Now it might work for depending on what system you're creating. That code system might only work for numbers, or if you find a way to use it for alphabet or symbols, go with it. But to me, I don't really see how I can use an alphabet system with a code, since the alphabet are letters already, right? So it's kind of weird to do to assign A, or A is going to be F and G for some reason. Doesn't really make sense. So that's why my number system has a code. Alphabet system doesn't have a code. Symbol-based system is more of a association-based type system. And so yeah, so I know this video got a little bit long, but I just really wanted to explain to you how to memorize your different systems, and it'll give you the different 4 different ways you can actually do it. Because for me, if I give you multiple ways, you can pick the best way that works for you. If I just give you one way, and it doesn't really work for you, then you can kind of have a problem, right? It's like, man, I know Johnny was saying use this way, but it doesn't really work for me. I wish it was something else. Well, boom, you have 4 different ways, okay? So yeah, so hopefully you found this video useful, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe to my channel for more videos on memory techniques, how to do better in school, memory challenges, updates, and much more. Also remember to click the notification bell so you know when I upload a video. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links are down below in the description. You also can check out these videos. If you want to learn all the memory techniques and learn how to apply them to all sorts of information, or if you want to start competing in memory competitions, you can check out my programs down below in the description. Look forward to my next video and get ready to get the best memory of your life.